Okay, so welcome to everybody. My name is Debbie Bryan. I'm one of your uplines from Team Beautifully Polished. Raise your hand if this is your first meeting ever. Let me sing a scroll. Danny, I see your hand kind of popping, and Kimberly and Sue. Kim Brady, did your hand just go up? And Kelly. Who
It's
else?
my daughter's hand.
Oh, who else is it your first call? All right, I have to remember, I'm going to say it right. Nayuli. Did I say it right?
Nayeli.
Yelly.
Thank
Okay.
you.
All right. We just had our strong start call. And I know, so it's your first call. Well, welcome if it's your first call, and welcome if you've been on many calls. I'm happy to have everybody here. And I was saying today in the Jumpstart group, if you're not in the Jumpstart group where we do training in there for new people, thank you for giving me grace over July. I was not doing my regular trainings because we had conference and I had family in for 12 days. And then I was on a trip and it was just a lot. So I took a break from doing extra trainings, and it's been fun today to jump right back in and get all those trainings going again. So thank you for giving me that break and allowing me to spend some time with family. So, but I'm loving being back here in front of all these faces again. So, all right, here's what our meeting's going to look like. I have some recognition because it's not all done. I'm going to go over that.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to go over lots of great announcements that we have and so many cool things. Then we're going to dive right into training to help you guys book, talk about ways to get your calendars filled for these upcoming months. All right. So we have 4 amazing speakers who will be talking today.
We're trying to adjust.
Okay. All right. So let's look at recognition. Let me put, these are the ugliest glasses. I'm sorry. I know I look like I'm 15. That's what the little girls wear, I think, when they're on the computer. I don't look 15. I look like I'm trying to be 15.
You look it, Debbie.
I look it. Yeah. Okay. So I have our top 20 in sales. And again, it blows my mind that to be in the top 20, Haley Cameron is number 20, and her sales were still hovering right around 2,000. Haley Cameron with $1,993 in our top 20. If you're new, you have to understand $1,000 used to be like number one. And now just everybody in Color Soup just keeps selling more and more and just has raised the bar. So I'm going to read names till I get to the top 5, and then I'll read their amounts. So number 20, Haley Cameron. 19, Kristen Liebeck. 18, Mary Blair. 17, Jacqueline Pizzulio. I'm just going to say names because I forget which number I'm on. Then we have Sarah Chrysler, Cindy Dam, MB Cameron, Stephanie Tatum, Trina Sovereign, Rachel Sprinkle, Haley Looney. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Haley Looney was number 10. So then we have Dina Doyle, Laura Pobans, Jessica Mitchell, and Joni Rizzi. Awesome job. Those are our 20 through number 5. So let's give them a round of applause, or number 6. Then our last top 5 we have here. Number 5, Kristin Mccartney with $3,705 in sales. I mean, unbelievable. Number 4, and I will say, Joni, who was right behind her, was at 3,500. So, I mean, these people are so close. Number 4, Erica Robinette with $4,029. Congrats to you. I'm unmuting you guys because it's really nice to hear. Oh, I guess I can't unmute. Oh, this is my husband. So he has his settings set different than mine. I guess you guys have to unmute yourselves. I can't unmute you. Oh. So if you want to unmute to give these people cheers, go ahead. Number 3, Janice Hayes, $4,711. Awesome job, Janice. Number 2, Darlene Lavoie, $5,126. Congrats to her. And number one, who we'll be hearing from tonight. Oh, I'm sorry, we won't be hearing from tonight. I asked her, but she was busy. But she did send me a little write-up that I will post in our page of how Courtney Huther will gets $5,482 in sales. So congrats to you,
Way
Courtney.
to go.
So we have Courtney, who was number one in sales in New Jersey for the entire company from conference last year to conference this year. We have Janice Hayes, who is number 3 in sales this month, who is number 1 in California for the entire company for the past year. And then also in our top 20 is Cindy Dam, who was number 1 2 years in a row for the company for South Dakota. So that is pretty impressive. They're all, of course, in the top 20 here on our team. And they were, I mean, that recognition from conference, knowing that they were number 1 for the entire Color Street for an entire year is pretty amazing. So I did ask all 3 of them to speak. Cindy was busy. She has spoke before. You will hear from Janice tonight, and I will post what Courtney had to say. Because of course, inquiring minds definitely want to know, right? How are you being number 1 like that? So congrats to all of you. All right, then we have enrolling. We have 2 people that came in top for enrolling with 3 new stylists each. Janice Hayes and Tammy Lytle. Congrats to you with 3 new stylists each. Then you guys can unmute if you want to cheer for them. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people that brought in 2 new stylists. So I'll read their names as well. Kristin Mccartney, Sam Fenning, Veronica Armijo Garcia, Courtney Huther, Haley Looney, MB Cameron, Dina Doyle, Haley Cameron, Beth Wellman. Congrats to all of you for having 2 new teammates this month. So that means hitting Circle of Excellence, $1,000 in sales plus 2 enrollees. We have Janice Hayes, Kristin Mccartney, Sam Fenning. I don't have the report, so I'm basing it. So I'm pretty sure I'm 99.99% right, but if I goof it up, just tell me. Sam Fenning, Veronica Armijo Garcia, Courtney Huther, Haley Looney, MB Cameron, Dina Doyle, Haley Cameron, and Beth Wellman all hit Circle of Excellence. So they all got cash bonuses and jewelry this month. So congrats to all of you ladies. I don't have promotions. How about if anybody promoted to a senior stylist and you're on here? I would love it if you unmute yourself and say your name, since I don't have it to be able to announce. Do we have any new senior stylists on here, or a leader who knows that they had a senior stylist? I know it's so hard without the report.
I've
How
got
about-
one.
Oh, who, Nikki?
Lisa Vroman. I don't know if she's on the call, but
Yay!
she promoted to senior stylist on
Let's
the
clap for
last
Lisa
day of the
Vroman.
month.
Congrats, Lisa. That is awesome.
I have
How
one
about
too.
team leader? Oh, you have one, Iana?
Yeah, Haley Looney.
Oh, she promoted?
Yeah, and she's got her name all over the board.
Well, no
So,
wonder. You see those sales and the enrolling, that's bound to
Mhm.
happen, right?
Yep.
Yay. All right.
I have
Anybody
one
else?
too, Debbie.
Who, Mary?
Alicia Coots.
Yay. Congrats, Alicia.
I have
love
one.
it. Oh, who done?
Yep, Leanne Harrelson.
Yay. Congrats, Leanne. Anybody else? I did.
I have one.
Oh, go, Andrea.
Bree Florent. I hope I'm saying her name right, but yay, Bree. I don't know if
Hey,
she's on.
Bree. That's awesome. And I did post, because until I get the report to send an email to everybody, I did post in Beautifully Polished. We do have a new senior stylist call Thursday and a new team leader call. So just to be able to give people a heads up, because I know it's going to be tight between me getting the report to email people and the turnover of the call. So if you want to tag your people in that, then they would kind of have more of a heads up. All right. How about any team leaders? Anybody have any new team leaders they want to announce, or on here that they want to announce themselves?
I do. I don't know if she's on. Tathy Arkwood.
Woo! T-H-Y, Taffy?
Tathy. Yep.
Okay, cool. All right, congrats, Tathy. Anybody else?
I do. I have a Rebecca Bloom.
Yay. All right, Rebecca. Anybody else? This is kind of fun this way. It's like a mystery to me. All right, how about directors? Any new directors? Any new senior directors? We probably I'm assuming we had more senior stylists and team leaders. Well, congrats to all the promotees this month. I'm super excited. So again, we have that call on Thursday, and I did put it at evening hours. We'll see if that makes a difference than afternoon hours. Okay, so now let's go through some announcements here. Okay, there's so many. I can't believe all the exciting things, everybody. So we have, of course, 1 week from today, August 9th is what?
Canada.
Canada.
The day we have been waiting for since Mr. Park brought it up in 2018 at a, I don't even know where it was, but he said it on a call or something, and everybody's been waiting since then.
It was conference.
It was conference? Okay. Oh gosh, we've all been waiting and waiting. So it should be next Monday. Really exciting. Everybody, it's a great time to be promoting it and getting people. Remember, it doesn't just have to be, you don't have to know someone in Canada. You can know people who know people. That either that person here signs up with you who brings people from Canada in, or that person connects you with people they know in Canada. But you don't have to necessarily know the people, okay? But if you're working events, you want to put something up that says how we're in Canada. You want to promote it that way. You want to be putting it on your cover pages. I have some cute cover page graphics that I got from a group that I'm in that I will post, and you can add your picture or whatever to it. Great way to be able to advertise on your pages that we're coming. Go live on your personal page and tell people. One of the biggest things you can emphasize is it's a brand new business. They will be at the ground floor level in Canada. When people hear ground floor level of direct sales, their eyes get big. You have to understand what a big deal that is. It means that they will be the first ones in. It means they have that. It doesn't mean that it's ever too late, but it's really exciting when you are those first people in, because of course there's nobody else there yet, right? So, and if you saw today in your email, Color Street is going to give those amazingly beautiful Canadian strips for the first 8,500 stylists signed up. So that is super cool. I love that. I am working on a sticker that I'm going to also be putting out there. I haven't decided how many. I'm thinking for the first 50 people who enroll somebody from Canada, they will, on our team, they will get a sticker for their sticker collection, because I know that our team loves stickers. So stay tuned for that. I'm working on that in the next couple days. So again, make sure you are promoting it. All right. You can't just think Canadian people are going to come to you just because they hear about it without you putting it out there. All right. Make reach outs. I will tell you, I learned a lesson the other day. I sent stuff through the mail. It is very expensive to send there. I sent maybe 2 catalogs, an opportunity brochure, a couple other things to a guy who's signing up that I've been talking to for a long time, and 5 sets. And I paid either $28 or $29. And I was going to pay $25 for 4 weeks shipping. Even the $28 got me 2 weeks shipping. It is not cheap. So if I would have realized that, he won't even get it before we launch anyway. So pirate ship. I was nervous to do it through PayPal because I didn't know. I had to fill out a customs form and I had not done it. So I was too nervous to do myself through our own shipping. My husband did tell me FedEx might be cheaper. So anyways, I learned hard from the post office was not a good call. So make sure you're reaching out to people and, sending them to, if your team within Beautifully Polished has a separate Canadian group, or if it's a behind the scenes group, make sure you're sending them there to get information. Okay. Punta Cana. Registration is tomorrow. When I had posted the poll, as soon as I posted it, I knew I put August 1st and it wouldn't let me edit because it was a poll. So in the comments, I had said, sorry, it's August 3rd, but I couldn't change it. So sorry for the confusion on that. I don't know what time. I would have thought we would have got an email today, or it would have been in the newsletter, and it was not. So I don't know that, Darlene. So tomorrow is when you choose wave 1 or wave 2 for Punta Cana. How about our new Circle of Excellence? And if you notice the graphics, very pretty, and it has the Canadian information on there as well. So a new piece of jewelry, which is exciting, and has Canadian stuff on there. So that's awesome. Our new incentive trip, Riviera Maya. So if you are new, you do not have to be a certain rank to hit this trip. You are in, it just started halfway through, or well, it was announced halfway through, but it started July 1st. We are only a month in. You have every opportunity to be able to earn this. It is possible. So my recommendation to you is, if you want to do it, go and watch our video we had. It's posted on our YouTube channel or in Beautifully Polished under announcements. Watch the breakdown Sherry McAllister did. She helps break down the points, and reach out to your upline. Setting goals for points each month will help you break it down, and it is very doable if you work your business. It's not just going to happen from you posting in your VIP group. You're not going to be able to get it from that. But if you are doing parties and getting sales and recruiting people, it is possible to do it. I promise you. And I'm telling you, once you go on a trip with Color Street, you don't want to miss the next one. All right. So definitely look into that. Our fall catalog. Who's excited for that?
Yay.
Fall catalog, which is super exciting. 27 new, kind of 26 new shades, one comeback shade, or one that's going to stay. Super excited. My guess is it's always been August. Do you know, I did learn a little tidbit. Sometimes they've had the bundle that we could order ahead of time, and then it would ship. So sometimes I think people were thinking there might be a bundle at the end of July that would get shipped in August. It has since been found out you cannot technically offer something in July that you do not offer to ship within the same month, which is why they were unable to offer something in July that they would then ship in August. So sometimes they were doing it in July to give us those last July sales. They can't do that. It's against, I think, direct sales, or it's against something. So just FYI. So I don't know if they're doing a bundle, Dar. I haven't heard anything. I haven't heard anything more than you guys have, truly, on fall stuff. So I would assume everything will happen in these next couple weeks. Let's see. Oh, how about the new Hostess Incentives? Amazing. That's pretty. Oh, Punta Cana registration, 7 p.m. Central, so 8 p.m. Eastern. Was that an email maybe? Thank you, Amanda.
Yeah, it was an email on July 19th.
Oh, well, there you go then. Okay, so for those of us who did not, it might even be in my phone and I didn't even pay attention. Perfect. Okay, Hostess Incentives. Okay, amazing. That new set of polishes. So again, your hostesses, I love that they're offering a special exclusive set for a brand new hostess. That's really cool. So make sure you are reaching out to hostesses to get those new shades. Then they also have 2 different home office visits. If you hit the rank of SED, Senior Executive Director, by the end of this year, there will be a home office visit. If you hit Gemstone, there's another, the SED this year would be for, I believe, next year to go. Then if you become a Gemstone, this year you get to go in December. So that's like Sapphire National, or Sapphire, Ruby, Diamond. Then my last announcement is we are going to pick up our in-person local meetings again here in Detroit area. So on the 26th, if you saw on the call calendar, we will be at Madonna University in Livonia at 7 o'clock. This first one, I'm only having our team. I'll go back to regionals, invite other teams, but I wanted to be able to invite just our team first. It's a room that maxes at 99, I believe. So I will do a sign up for it. So I'll get that out this week, and it will be first come, first serve for the sign up. And if you end up signing up and you can't come, please adjust so other people can add in if they want. So I truly believe that many people in our team have stayed so long and have moved up in leadership because of the camaraderie of our local meetings. I really have belief in that. We started meetings from the time the doors opened, and we did them every month pretty much. And I really feel like that's how so many of us got so close, because we saw each other every week. Or every month. It makes such a difference being able to be around people and knowing that we're all just not fake computer screens. If you went to conference, you know the feeling. Being able to touch your teammates and see your teammates, it's all the difference in the world. So if you can make that meeting, I promise you will be happy, and it's going to be fun to see people. And then if you're a leader in another state, maybe you will be ready to start running another meeting for people that are local to you soon too. But so we will be having that coming up, and then holding them monthly after that around here. Okay. Is there any, I can't think if anyone has any questions, I guess, put it in the chat. That way we can get right to our speakers now. Okay. So we have all of those amazing promotions. And the reason I wanted to talk about all those is because they lead into every one of those. You have to be working your business. And the other one was the senior director trip to the Bahamas. Senior director training 2 years ago was in San Antonio. This coming up here will be in Nassau, Bahamas. So again, you want to hit senior director, you want to hit senior executive director, you want to hit circle of excellence, you want to hit get the trip to Riviera Maya. All of those things require work on your part. It requires you doing more than just a post on your Facebook page. All right. So we have 4 speakers tonight who are going to talk to you about different ways to get sales and to work your business to be able to help you achieve these different things that Color Street has to offer. So we are going to start. Dina, did you decide if you should go before or after Christy?
Christy, do you want to start?
Okay. So we'll start with Christy Brondike, who is a senior stylist. And I'm super excited to hear from her. She's been in about a year now, and she's been doing in-home parties, which is why I wanted her to talk, because so many of you know are wanting to shift to that in-home party and just haven't yet. So Christy has, and so she is going to share with us a little bit about what she's been doing. So I'm going to mute myself, and thank you, Christy.
You're welcome. Thanks for inviting me. Hi, ladies. I just want to actually, first of all, just put it out there that I'm in the West Michigan area. I'm right outside the suburb of Grand Rapids. So I've been trying to get my team together because there's still a whole bunch of them over here that I haven't met yet. So if you're in my area, drop me a message, and I'd love to meet you. So yes, I started in January of 2020, so right before COVID, and I had seen the Facebook parties going on, but I knew with direct sales that you'd be in home, and I was really kind of excited about that. But then all of a sudden I couldn't do that and had to make that shift like everybody else did. So I'm really excited to be finally doing them now. And when things started to open up, or it seemed like it was going to, I just put it out there to anyone and everyone on my VIP group, anyone that I would talk to. I said, think about it, because this is what I want to do. And I would love you to be able to get your friends together after not seeing anybody. This is a great opportunity to sit around a table and do your nails and chat. And if they're familiar with Color Street, then, we're just still doing our nails, seeing new polish, and seeing our friends. And if not, then, we get to share that opportunity too. So as things began to open up, I began to get a little more comfortable with things. And so I would offer it, and not everybody was ready, and that's okay. Some people still aren't ready to not only invite me into their house, somebody they maybe don't know, but they don't want all of their friends in. So, you know, just keep putting it out there, and when they're ready, you'll start to get those. So, start getting ready now. Don't wait until somebody says, oh, next week, I'd love to have all my friends over. Can we do it then? Because then you might freak out. So, just get your stuff ready now. Just start thinking of how you might do it. There are a few different trainings on Beautifully Polished I found the first one under Guides 2. It's called Party Deck Training from December 10. So when Debbie posts this training, I'll come back in and put those links or notes about it. So that's a great, I think it's also on YouTube. So she's posted it there. And then to go along with that, there's the Polished Party Deck for BP training cards. And the one that I found that I liked the best was the updated one with the number 1 in the parentheses and 4. That one is a little bit more of what I was looking for. It has cards that you pass out to all of the guests. It's a little more interactive. It gets them asking questions, and then you give out a ticket. Even though they may not have volunteered to help you, they're getting a ticket into the drawing, and it just starts that conversation a little more. So in that YouTube training, I did pick up a lot of tips. I'm not going to give you them all because I want you to go and listen to all that yourself. But the one that stuck with me was to carry all of your stuff in one trip. And so in that picture that I sent Debbie, I was at a party and I had my mom snap a picture of me. I was carrying all of my stuff in one trip, because if you're making 3 or 4 trips to your car for tables and whatnot, and people are thinking, oh man, this is too hard, it's too much. So that right there, and I've had hostess say, well, can I help you? I'm like, nope, this is it, all right here, and I'm done. And then to use your cards. So print out your cards ahead of time. I put mine on larger index cards. So this is one that you would hand out to the guest, and it's numbered. So you can say who's got number 5, and then they're supposed to read you the ticket or the question. So I've got those all ready to go. I've got them all mixed up too, so that when you're passing them out, it doesn't go in order. And then I've got my own cards. So I've got it typed out. I didn't change the typing at all. I just went with what Debbie had on there. I put a little number so that I know what order they are. And then smiley faces and underline what I want to remember. So the other big tip is to use these cards. After you've done a party or two, you might even have the cards memorized, but still hold them, because somebody out there might be watching you and say, oh, she's got a cheat sheet. I could do that. I can read off of a card. And but if you've got it memorized, they're thinking, oh, no way am I going to remember all of that stuff. How do they want me to do that? So and have read through them at least a couple times out loud before you try. Do it in person. It feels so strange, but that's really the way to do it. So even after you've got them memorized, still flip through them, keep on track, and that will then remind you where you're at with the other gals. So what else do I bring? I do have the large trifold display from the swag store. It's great as a backdrop, but you really don't need that if you don't have it yet. I also have folders ready to give everybody, and I did like Debbie's suggestion of the one with a plastic insert that I just print the wish list. So even if they don't really want to open it yet, if they're too nervous to get started, diving in, at least they're looking at the front. And then I did put my sticker up there. So they've got my information, or don't want to take my folder because I want these back. But in the folder, then I've got a pen, I've got the order sheet, opportunity brochure, and catalog. And then tucked in there, these don't have a business card holder. I just dropped that in there. But when they order, they're going to get that in my thank you packet anyway. What else was I going to tell you about this? But all right, so they, I do encourage them to take out the paper, take out their order form, and then as we're talking about things, just start marking this up. This is for them, and then they can start making any orders on here. I do then bring my laptop along and plug into their Wi-Fi so that then I can help check them out at the end. And if I've only gotten 2, then we can have that discussion of, well, if you have 1 more on there, you get another one for free. And then you're asking about the booking and possibly booking their own party and the opportunity. If they want to go on their phone and order it right then and there, that would be great too. But I do like helping them. And I think a lot of them don't mind that, because then, even if they write their credit card number down, then we just shred it later and then they know it's done. One suggestion, my mom really wanted to be my first party. And that ended up being really helpful, because it was some of her friends that I'm not too familiar with, but then a lot of people that I am. So the very first time I read through the cards in person, it was kind of a mess. And so they were all very gracious and very forgiving and wanted to support me and still played along. But that then helped me figure out how I needed to do things from there. So if you've got a person who's willing to help you out with that first party, she had hers outside on the patio. It was a nice spring day, so everybody felt comfortable. So basically, if you are ready to do that, then just start offering it, start thinking about it, start planning for yourself, and just putting it in somebody's mind that this is possible. I do feel that an in-person party is a lot more beneficial to sales than the Facebook one. I think in early 2020, the Facebook one had its place. It still does, but it offered something that people didn't or weren't getting then. But now that we're able to start seeing people and actually interacting again, they're coming because they want to support their friend. And if they're coming, they usually do place an order. They're not going to walk out the door without placing an order. I think that's just something that we all know, that if you're going to place an order. And I think sometimes that expectation is not really there online. So here the sales were better. It allows you to then get to know your hostess better, and she's going to be part of your VIP group, and then possibly her friends who are in your VIP group. It just makes that bond so much better. And I think of those in-home parties that I've done already, I can see a longer lasting bond with those gals than I have with some other VIPs who've been in my group for a year, and I never really got to know them through the online party. So those were really the only tips that I had for tonight.
That's great, Christy. So much. And, I have to say, it's always like proud mama bear when you hear people that actually look at the trainings and watch them and are doing the things that we've put out there. So
Yeah.
I'm sure all of us who put the time in love to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right, there are 2 different party decks because I have not used those party cards in a while. I switched to the other ones. So you do want to find the ones that work for you. The set you use, we were using for a while, and you do pass the cards out and they interact with you. The set we had after that, you don't do that. So pick or choose the ones you want. They all came from training with Sherry McAllister and her original party cards that she had created for general, all direct sales. And then we brought it in and we worked with other people across Color Street, across all the legs of corporate, to come up with a Color Street version of them. So it really is the best of the best. And you do want to follow them because there's a lot of seeds that are planted in there that you don't even realize about getting bookings and stuff, that if you skip, you're not putting it out there. So couple people had questions. One was about the wish list. You can print it from Norma's graphics group. Yeah, someone uses Sherry McAllister's. These are Sherry's. It's just we've made them into Color Street. So that's the difference. So you can find them in Beautifully Polished. Just Google party deck and it'll show you. Let's see. And then somebody had asked, and I answered them, but if there's anything you want to say real quick about refreshments, I usually tell people to keep it.
Yeah, nobody's really gone overboard too much because I think at this point too, the food out, that might be, like getting into somebody's house is okay, but eating, I don't know. So you just never know. So don't go super crazy. And I'd say don't go super crazy anyway. I mean, cheese and crackers and maybe a juice or wine or whatever they're comfortable with, really.
Yeah. Yeah. I usually say, unless it's your love language and you love providing a ton of food,
Right.
you don't have to, because they're so busy.
Right.
You're sampling as they're coming in. They don't really have time. I don't know.
Right. It kind of was like, you don't really want the snacks until the end because you're trying to do the sampling and putting the polish, the testers on their finger right away. I do see a question about stash. I did have an open house style one where basically I sold straight from my stash, and then I just kept track of that and then had my hostess take her hostess rewards from my inventory as well, and then take what I just got from that party and reinvest it into my VO, well, ordering as a customer on my VIP link. So then I not only get the points for like the trips now or my own hostess rewards type deal. I do want to say that I switched that in July because I wanted them to be ordering online so that I got the heat wave sets and wasn't placing all of those orders myself. So I only brought with me the sets that they could not get online, the exclusives and retireds, and I made them available for $10 only if they placed an online order. So, and then I would kind of help the hostess get her rewards from that too. I'd add it in, and if she ordered anything extra, I'd just give it out of my stash.
Perfect. And one other thing about them ordering, if they order if you bring cash and carry to a party and they order cash and carry, or they pay for cash and carry, they're not in your VO. So you have to go add them as a, it's not I'm drawing a blank on the word, not a customer, but what's the other word there?
A contact.
Contact.
When Color Street sends out our automatic emails, they do not go to contacts, they go to customers. So they would not be getting those. So that is a drawback there. So just be careful of that. They would not be, you would need to send an email yourself and make sure you're checking contact for them to get that in any email you'd want them to get. So just beware of that if they're not ordering through a link at a party or an event or anything.
Yep, and I do keep their papers, so then I know what they've ordered and then have their contact information
Perfect.
too.
All right. Well, thank you, Christy. I appreciate
You're welcome.
everything you had to say. And I love that you're doing in-homes. That's an inspiration for all of us to get out there and do more in-homes because it is a great feeling to be around all those people and to watch.
It's a lot of fun, really.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
You're
And
welcome.
that leads us right into Senior Executive Director Dina Doyle, who is going to do some talking about some in-home and Facebook, a little bit of both there. You were on this screen, Dina, but now you're not on the screen anymore. So I'm not sure where you
I'm
are.
on the first screen.
Oh, there you are.
Hi, you guys. Hi, everybody. Thanks, Deb. Christy, that was awesome. I love in-home nail bars. When I joined 4 years ago, that's all I did. I had never done a Facebook party until COVID. I had my very first party. My in-home was at my house. So if you want to get started with an in-home, you could do it on your own, at your home, on your patio, Panera, Starbucks. If you want to do it, away from your home and just kind of out and about, that's always great. But I definitely found that when people saw the in-home, at my house, they were like, oh, that looks like fun. And so that's kind of how I was able to get my party started. I joined on a Friday and I had my in-home on Monday. So in-home parties, like Christy said, are so fantastic because you can basically BQ with that one party. My goal was always to have 10 guests. And if 8 of them order a buy 3, get 1, you're bonus qualified that night. So when I joined 4 years ago, my goal was to do 1 in-home per week. I typically did them on a Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, because those were the, end of the week nights that people were more open to having a party. Did I always want to do a party? Not always. I remember I would teach. I was new to teaching high school. My kids were in 4th grade, 7th grade, and 9th grade. I would come home from school and, homework and dinner. And sometimes you just want to get comfy on the couch. And I would have to recharge and get going to do a nail bar. But once I would get there, once I would get around the guests, once I would get around their energy, I loved it. And I remember I would think as I was driving there, this is going to be so awesome. You're going to bonus qualify, or you're going to hit an enhanced commission, or somebody you meet tonight could join your team. So I remember always getting excited once I would get there. And just like Christy said, 1 bag. This is all I would bring. And I would make it very obvious that I was just bringing in my 1 bag and the setup was very easy. I remember I wouldn't arrive until 10 minutes before the party started because I wanted the hostess to see that this was a pretty easy setup with just my 1 bag. And so that was kind of always the way I would do this. I remember when I first joined being nervous. So if any of you are nervous about having an in-home, I remember I would be thinking, I hope they cancel, or I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. I was nervous. That is so normal to feel that way. And I actually would tell them when I would get to these parties, I would say, I'm new, or this is something new for me. I'm a little nervous, so go easy on me. And everybody always liked that. It made you relatable. It made you just seem like, just somebody trying something new. And people were always really receptive to that. I remember when I first started my in-homes as well, I just wanted to sell the polish and get out of there. I wanted to BQ and leave. And I didn't do the offering of the opportunity, the business. I didn't do the booking a party from a party. And then I remember about 2 months in, I had this epiphany where I was like, I have this group. They are loving this. And the in-home parties are so gratifying because right away you see their reaction. You show them a proper application. You're feeding off of their energy. You're having fun. I remember I would get everybody there to join my VIP group. So we would have these raffle tickets that you can get from the dollar store or Office Max or Office Depot. And I just would use these in my classroom as well. And I would say, okay, everybody take out your phone. I would love to have you join my VIP group where I do specials and giveaways and we have all sorts of fun. And you'll get a ticket for joining my VIP group. So everybody would pull out their phone and I would have 8 to 10 people joining my VIP group right there. So I always loved that immediate response. And I then started focusing on booking parties off of parties. So one of the biggest things I focus on is booking parties off of parties. And I didn't always do that. So I would definitely say booking parties ahead of time, so you're always prepared for upcoming weeks and months, is so important. And I love the party cards, and I would, follow exactly like what Christy shared. And one of the things I found is there was like a purse game and a dice game and all these really cool interactive ways to book parties when you're in person. So I remember.
Oh, Dina, you're gone for some reason. You're not muted, but we can't hear you. Or I can't hear her. Can anybody hear her?
No, nope, can't either.
She can't hear us because she keeps talking. Can you hear us, Dina?
Now, did I freeze?
Oh, yeah. You didn't freeze. You kept moving, but nothing was coming out.
Oh,
You
man.
weren't muted.
Okay. So I don't know if you heard how I would go to the dollar store.
No.
Did you hear that part?
Nope.
Okay, so when I would do an in-person in-home nail bar, I started really focusing on booking parties and offering the opportunity. And my goal was always to enroll and to book parties. Did you hear about having people join my VIP group with the tickets? Okay, good. So what I would do is I would offer the chance for people to pick a box, and
You disappeared in the same
It's
spot
happening
again.
again.
It's your boxes. They take your voice away.
Oh, it's because she's moving her hands too much. That happens.
okay, did it happen again? Can you hear me
As
now?
soon as you put the boxes up, you disappear.
Okay, I'm not putting the boxes up. Okay, so basically I would, with an in-home party, I would book parties off of that with those boxes. If people chose one, it would say party or prize. And I would inevitably get parties booked off of that. With these party hats, it'd say party or prize on the inside. So anytime I do a party, I would front load my month with parties. And then I would book off of it for the end of my month to have more parties. So I could do my one a week. Then at the end of the month, I would start booking for the upcoming month. So I always was thinking ahead. So it would be the middle of the month. So middle of August, I'm going to start booking out for September. And I would use these in my parties. And my prizes were like dollar store cotton pads or dollar store buffer or file. So I started to really get excited about booking parties, and I always had a party for the next upcoming month. So then with COVID, I had to pivot and start Facebook parties. So I hadn't done a Facebook party until last March. So when Facebook parties became our only option, I started doing 2 Facebook parties a week, and that's what I've maintained. So within my Facebook parties, I found I could do 2 a week because I'm not driving anywhere. I'm not having to gather my supplies, put on my shoes and leave. I could do 2 a week, same day, same posts, schedule my posts, and I would just go in and do a live for my demo, which was my party. And so I would do booking games off of that to keep on with my routine of 1 party a week in person or 2 parties a week with the Facebook platform. So that was really the way I was able to do both. I actually enjoy both. I love in person for the immediate gratification connection. And I love Facebook because I feel like I can do even more with the 2 a week. So a lot of people will ask me, how do you get those booked? I want to do more. I want to do 2 a week. I just can't get them booked. So the way that I feel like I've been able to get parties booked, I jotted down a couple of things that I do. Number 1 is I am extremely casual in how I offer a party. I never use the word party. I never say, do you want to have a party? Will you have a party for me? I never say that at all, because party equals
You froze up right during the good part. You froze up when you said party equals work.
Am I back?
Yes.
Am I back? Okay. I don't know where it cut off, but how people ask, how do I get, I know I'll keep my hands down. People ask, how do I get parties booked? I go to my VO. I go back 2 to 3 months from where I'm at. So right now we're in August. I would go back to, let's say, April, May, June, and I look to see who ordered. And I make a list of those who ordered, and I write down their cell phone number and I text them. If they don't order with their cell phone, let's say they email, I'll email them. I prefer texting or messenger. So when I go back to reach out to them, I will, follow up with them, because if they order to buy 3, get 1, at this point, they're probably out of their polish, and I want to help them replenish for free. So this is something that I'd say to them. If you want to jot this down, I would say something like, hey, Christy, I hope you're having a great summer. I hope you're loving your color street. It's been a few months, and I wanted to see if you wanted to replenish your stock for free. I always use all caps when I say free. I have 2 spots open for our huge fall launch. Would you like one? So again, I'd say, hey, Christy, I hope you're having a great summer. I hope you're loving your color street. It's been a few months, and I wanted to see if you wanted to replenish your stock for free. I have 2 spots open for our huge fall launch. Would you like one? I share emojis. I put a couple nail fees in there. And I always want to create a sense of urgency with 2 spots available. Everybody loves a fall launch. And I always end with, would you like one? Or how does that sound? Because with an open-ended question, they are more likely to respond back to me. Do they all respond back to me? No. Do I see that people saw the message in Messenger and still not message me back? Yes. That happens to me every single day. I know the teenagers say we got ghosted. I get ghosted all the time. And I do not take that personally. I know maybe they read the message quickly and didn't get a chance to message back. Maybe they don't want to do a party. Maybe they just had a party for some other direct selling company. I mean, the list goes on. I have found the worst that's going to happen is they say no thanks, or they don't message me back. But if I message 20 people from my May or June orders, most likely I will get 2 people to say sure, or what does that mean? And then I've created dialogue, and I can say, oh, I can set you up with a shopping link. It's fast, fun, and easy. I always use the words fast, fun, and easy. That's what people want. They want fast, fun, and easy. I never use the word party. I never say, do you want a party? Do you want to host a party? I do not say that, because I know I would be like, oh, I don't really want to host a party, even though she's my friend. I don't really want to. So I have found it's just the way that I word things. I also want to point out, if you haven't used the Color Street app follow-up tool, definitely start using it. If you want to jot down, go to your Color Street Stylist app, click on calendar. When you click on calendar, you're going to see your calendar of all the people who've ordered from you. You might get notifications. I am able to see, it says follow up with Angela, and it shows me a check mark. When I click on the check mark, it will give me the option to call her, to text her, or to email her. I always text. And if you click on text, like I don't know if any of you are doing it right now, it gives you an automatic text message with her name and your name. And then I add a nail fee and some emojis and things like that, make it more personalized to me. If they didn't order with their cell phone, I use email, and that email is automatically written by Color Street with my name and her name. It is amazing. If you've never used it, It is so easy. It also gives you the option to set reminders for yourself. So I will go in there and set a reminder. She was a hostess. She wants a party in October. And you can use this as a follow-up tool. I know if I hold up my phone, I might have that same issue again. So just write down, check out the Color Street Stylist app, click on calendar and follow up. It's amazing. Okay, really quickly, I'm almost done. I have like 3 more things to share. Every current hostess, now I do 2 parties a week at minimum, 2 parties a week. They are not all good. I have several parties right now still at 0. That is normal. But if I didn't do all the parties I do, I would feel really discouraged with my 0 parties. Some of my parties are at 300, maybe 400, maybe 150. Some at $37, some at $77. That's why the more parties you do, the more chances you have to up your PV. Can you guys hear me? Okay, good. Awesome. Okay, so this is my favorite thing. For every current hostess, whether they're at a 0 or not, I say to them when I'm closing out their party or ending it or wrapping it up, I say to them, you were an awesome hostess. I loved having this party with you. I would love to do this again. In October, that's like the most exciting time with our Halloween polish, like whatever months are upcoming. I try to set aside a date, not really an actual date, but a spot for them from a hostess I have right now. So let's say a party I closed right now. I'd say to her, hey, Jen, your party was awesome. You got 5 free packs, free shipping. You were an awesome hostess. I would love to set aside another date for you in a few months when you're going to want to replenish your stock. I can do it for our Halloween launch. Do you want me to set aside a date for you in October? She's not going to get the booking credit, but she's so fired up about the polish she just got for free. She realizes it was fast, fun, and easy. We're already communicating. So I had people say, sure, or yeah, why not? I go into my phone, into my calendar, I'll go to October and I'll say, Jennifer McKenzie wants a party in October. Reach back out to her from your July party. I'll write something in there. And then I have had people say, well, message me again. That's so far away, but I'll probably do it. But most people say yes, because they're excited that they just had a party. And so you want to get them thinking seasonal hostess. Then when October rolls around, I'll say to her, remember your party? It was awesome. You already have people loving it. If you want, they can buy from you and we'll still do your party. I'll still run it for you, but you'll get paid and you'll get freebies instead of me. So that's really my plan to get them to take this as an opportunity for them. So that's where I'm thinking ahead for my pipeline for October has Jennifer on board. So I'm hoping she'll join because she already knows how great it is. But if she doesn't, we're still doing her party and I've planted the seed for her to watch it with a different lens of joining. So that is another way that I'm able to enroll my hostesses. And everyone loves freebies, are already super fired up. Okay, then the next thing is everybody who posts a nail fee in my VIP group, I send them a message through Messenger. If they post a nail fee, I know they love it. And I send them a message and I say, hey, Deb, I hope you're doing great. I love your nail fees and I appreciate your posts. Our fall catalog launches on 8/17, and I would love to hook you up with free polish. I have 2 August spots. They are fast, fun, and easy. How does that sound? So anybody who posts a nail fee, I message them through Messenger, and I say, hey, Deb, I hope you're doing great. I love your nail fees and appreciate your posts. Our fall catalog launches on 8/17, and I would love to hook you up with free polish. I have 2 August spots. They are fast, fun, and easy. Would you like one? And with them posting their nail fees, They love the product. So why not get them the polish for free? Okay. And then one last thing. Anytime somebody comments in my VIP group under somebody else's nail fee or under an engagement post, I say to them, do you want your own link to earn these for free? I just throw it out there. Anytime somebody makes a post and then people comment under it, I'll say to somebody, do you want your own link? Do you want to earn these for free? I'd love to hook you up. And I just am constantly doing that. Some people don't reply, but most people will say, sure, what does that mean? And I'll say, oh, it's fast, fun, and easy. I can set you up with a Facebook group. You can do a texting party. But I like to get that dialogue going. That could be for Facebook parties. It could be for in-person parties. You get to decide. You can do a mix of both. I plan on starting in person again. I've only done Facebook, obviously, the past year and a half, but I love in person and I want to now do a mix of both. I might do in person in the summer. And then when I go back to school in the fall, I might just do in person or I might just do Facebook. But you can do a mix of both. I would definitely say jump right in. You know, I remember when I started, I just was like, I'm just going to give this a try. I'm going to let people know. I don't really know how this is going to go. I'm just going to have fun with it. And people like to know your honesty if you're nervous and if you're new at this. But get those parties booked. The parties are our bread and butter. Do parties each week. Get them going on repeat. If they're at a 0 or 37 or 77 or wherever they're at, book off of them and just keep the momentum going. I'm so sorry about my technical difficulties. I hope even one thing out of this was helpful.
Oh my gosh, there was so much great helpful things. Are you kidding? It was perfect. I love how Christy told us about the in-home and then you told us about some things of your experience of what to do with it. So it was perfect. Thank you, Dina. What I didn't catch is your last little blurb when you're typing to your VIP to your VIPs for their nail fees. So if you don't mind typing that. When Janice talks, that would be awesome.
Yes, thank you.
So thank you for all the great tips. I think that people definitely took notes and they're ready now to use your tips to get those parties and why you get the parties, and then use the party cards like Christy talked about. So thank you. Thank you. Okay, so next we have another one of our number ones here, number one for California, Janice Hayes, who's going to speak to us a little bit about what she does in her VIP group to get sales. So we've talked about the in-home parties, and she's going to talk about how she gets her sales from a real good VIP group.
Awesome. Hi, guys. So I love Christy and Dina's ideas. I am an introvert, and going to someone's house and partying is completely frightening to me. So I love online. I love it. It's my jam. I can be this person that I'm so not in person. So I do everything online. I do everything in my VIP group. I don't know about you guys, but the last 2 months trying to get online parties was impossible. I had zero parties the last 2 months. I just did one last week. First one I had done in 2 months. I get more no's than anyone can imagine. So when you see my numbers, that's because I ask constantly. I send 5 to 10 messages in the morning, 5 to 10 messages at night, every single day, no matter what I'm doing. So I am always asking. I'm always going back 2 to 3 months. Like Dina said, I go back 2 to 3 months. Who hasn't ordered in the last 2 months? I double check that everything's good with them. I love to send them a little message, just making sure everything's good. If you have any questions or need any tips, let me know. I'm happy to share. I do that. Yes, I am in California, by the way, if you don't know. That's why it's sunny outside. So that is, for me, my VIP group is my gold. And you don't want to just depend on 30 to 40 people in your VIP group. They will get burnt out. They do get burnt out. My best customers get burnt out, or I sign them up. half my team, hi guys, was my really good customers. So I love you guys and we love our good customers, but we tap them out and it's real. So every single day I'm inviting new people to my VIP group, whether it's a Facebook friend. If you don't have a big group, that's where you ask your customers to help work for you. Ask them, get them inviting people, get them in there. I got so many no's, but let me tell you, that Hostess Incentive came out Saturday night. I have at least 12 party links set up since then. I'm not having 12 parties. I'm setting those customers up with their own link so that their own purchases are counting as their party. I'm not having formal parties. That is for them to share with their friends. And they can post a nail fee on their page, show how pretty their nails are, and they can shop through their link. They can go right there and get all those Hostess rewards. And I just spoil the crap out of any new customers that I get. If they order and they've never ordered before, I am right there friending them or sending them a message in Messenger. All my magic happens in Messenger. If someone orders through someone's link that I don't know yet, I am getting them in my group, or I'm having that person invite them to my group. So if they have a new person that ordered on their link, I don't know who they are, they're not in my group, I get them to add them immediately so that they're getting all the fun. We have fun, we have games. Scheduler is my best friend. I have something scheduled at least twice a day, and I'm showing them every day. I have a engagement post in the morning, and then midday, I'm like just showing a favorite set. So one color, 5 different ways. And I'm just showing those. Just like, see how you can mix this. I show it by itself and then a mixed mani. And every single day, something is going out twice a day, whether I'm in there or not. So those regular actions get people on a schedule. And when they're on a schedule, they check that page, they see what's happening. I go live every single week, at least once. Sometimes I try to jump in twice, not about nails, maybe about nails. I think it's just really important to make your VIP group where people know to go. If you don't have your VIP group linked on Facebook, if your name is pretty and polished as your group and your name isn't in it, those people are going to buy from you and then forget what your group name is and can't find it if you don't have it linked on your Facebook profile. So I when I'm doing shout outs is always when it's very apparent. Casey and I were doing shout outs last night and we couldn't find people's group name. If you can't find your group name, if we can't find your group name, your customers can't find your group name. So it is so important to get your group so that they can just click on it. Do a regular post. At least once a week, I'm tagging my group so that people are wanting to hop in there. Like, you don't have to say you can't say you're doing giveaways. I just throw up some nails or I say a little story and I'm like, if you want to know more, hop over to our group. And just that little thing gets so regular that people jump in because they want to know what's happening. People are nosy. They want to know. If you're not that great on social media, learn. I was not great at social media. I barely posted. I had other people posted. I show dogs. My clients would post the wins. I didn't do that much. I learned. It was a learned skill. It is not something that you were like, I don't know how to do it, so I can't do this. Yes, you can. Everybody can learn social media. It's very, very easy. I think those follow-ups are so important because even when it's a new customer and you get them into your group, you want to make sure they know that you see them getting into your group. So I always do a welcome post every week that somebody, if there's just one new person, we're welcoming them. If there's more than one, I try to at least get 5 to 10 people every week in my group. So it's not just 1 or 2 people here and there. If you want to really make a difference, you got to get in there. You got to get people in your group. Those happy birthday messages, don't do it on their wall. On the wall, it gets lost. Like, it's just you'll see people like 200 birthday messages. they're not going to go through all, I don't know about you, but I don't have time to go through all those. You send me a message, I'm going to see it. And then I'm going to react. And don't just say happy birthday. Ask a question. What are you going to do to celebrate this year? Like what, like find out. And then when you interact with them, that's telling the algorithm that you're now friends. So then you're popping up into their feed more. They start seeing your posts about jumping in your group. You seem pretty fun with your birthday message. Maybe you want to be more than just friends and see some nails. So that's always rotating, and I'm always posting about parties. I don't get parties through my posts. Those are just to let people know what's happening. I get parties when I'm in there asking, or I get a lot of no's. And when I get those no's, okay, no big deal. I understand, I'm busy too. Here's just a link. Let's just have your own link. So if you know you're going to spend more than this amount in the next 2 months, you can leave that link open for 2 months. That is killer. I think I had 1 month, I had 15 parties closed out. I didn't have any parties that month. That was just my customers' links getting closed because they had a hostess reward and they got pink paradise just from all their purchases they had the previous month and a half. So just think out of the box. If you're getting all these no's, check your verbiage. If it sounds salesy, check with your upline. Have them listen to what you're saying. If they're saying, let's adjust, just adjust it. I've adjusted my wording 25 times because I'm like, that doesn't sound like me. I want something that sounds like me. So you're always changing it. And just know you don't have to do everything as, yes, would we like a party to work? Yes, I wanted parties last month. I was home. I had 0. Like, so I know last 2 months, I know now July and June are tough. I was like, I went from being #1 in the company last June to my worst month yet. So,
Okay, but your worst month was $4,700.
my best month was 14,000.
I know, but let's look at so when she says her worst month and she had no parties, let's put that in perspective.
But that's the thing, is it's perspective, but at the same time, you're trying to beat yourself. Like, that's me. I'm competitive. I'm trying to beat my numbers every month. And so I just see it going down. So I have to start thinking out of the box. I've tapped all my people. I mean, I was doing 15, 20 parties a month. That's not realistic. That's not how I can keep up and still do my business now that I'm back on the road. So just having to adjust to life and COVID again, and we're in California, everything's about to get, adjusted again. So we have to pivot. We have to figure out what's going to work again. People are going to start being online again a little bit more, but just knowing that every interaction needs to have a purpose, whether it's just checking up with old friends. I don't go and randomly cold message people. I have known people that are friends in Facebook for years. I go through to see who I'm friends with and I haven't heard from. Like, why do I not see their stuff? So I go through, comment on 3 of their posts or 2 of their posts over the next week and get that algorithm so we're seeing them again. So I think it's just a little more out of the box, not your traditional parties. I mean, definitely do parties if you can get them, but I just want you to know there's other ways to do parties that aren't traditional. Because for me, going to a stranger's house and doing a party in their house just is not my idea of fun, because I am not comfortable around people I don't know. So it's one of those, once I'm friends with someone, then I'm okay. So now, you can build on that, but it's just know that you have to just curve it to how you feel comfortable, and you get more comfortable on social media. The closed group is a safe space. I used to have a blank group that I would go practice and see how the live would work. So I would go live on my computer and then see how my phone would show it. So I could see when someone commented how it would show up. So I practice. I go in there and we were using Post My Party. If you were using Post My Party, it's suddenly not working, which was our favorite thing. So now I'm trying Vizzle or Vizly, whatever it is, I don't know. And I'm trying that in my other group that's just for me. So if you're a person that's nervous to go live, I get it. I was that person too. Try it in a group that it's just you. and then get comfortable. Find out where your angles are. Find out if you like your hair up or down. Find out if you like the computer higher or lower. Find those little details that will make you feel a little more confident and go with it. So those, I mean, I think that's about all I had down. It's a little all over the place, but just thinking out of the box. So your parties, if you don't have any, you're not still falling off because your customers and your VIP group are having fun. So make that fun. Make it a party in your group. That's what I do. I like it.
And I love it, Janice. And if you caught Sherry McAllister's training, like for Riviera Maya, she gave to earn points. She gets those points from parties and then your VIP group also.
Yeah.
So, and I love your verbiage of, again, kind of what Dina was saying of setting up that shopping link and letting them do their work. So last month with you having no parties and still selling $4,700, I'm sure everyone here is like, yeah, okay. No,
I have
it's really amazing.
Yeah. And I have 1,400 people in my VIP group now.
And okay, so I was going to say, how many people do you have?
It
So that
started
is a big difference.
Yeah.
So you have to have a good amount of people in there to you have those type of sales that you're having.
And a year and a half ago, you know, when I first started, it obviously took off. Timing was excellent. And, you know, my group just grew and grew, but that has been my main focus. I've never slowed down on growing my group. Like that should be, no matter how much I'm working with my team, I am working on that, growing my group every single day, because if you don't have new people getting in that group, you don't have new customers, especially if you're running all over the country and you're not partying like you were, you're not getting those new people. So letting your customers do a little work for you, spoiling those people and growing your group, you're gonna get the constant, like refilling those spots that might go off. So I think it's just a constant, just keep working it and keep inviting people. They might not jump in, but if they do, they might be your best customer. So that's definitely
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I've loved this. I've loved hearing all the different aspects of the getting your sales again from VIP, getting them from in-home, getting them from Facebook. So thank you, Janice. Awesome information. You had one question here before we get to Deb, because of course I say we're ending and it's so hard because we all have so many things to say.
Yeah.
Do you friend every customer and teammate?
If the customer is already in my group, I don't necessarily friend them because I have to save my spots because I'm almost at that 5,000 limit. So, and that's just from my livelihood. That's from my world of dog shows. So I don't necessarily friend every teammates is kind of touchy. I let them stay in, I kind of through their jump starts, but then I start phasing them out because I like people to be original with their thoughts. And once you've gone through the first 3 months, I think you've seen what to do, or if you've been a customer, you know what to do. And you're not creative if you're in someone else's group. So I personally do not like stylists in my group necessarily, just because I feel like if you're in my group, you're not busy enough in your group. And it's one thing if you're helping people get algorithm. I don't need help in the algorithm. I've got mine down. So I always tell people if they're busy playing in my games and they're busy playing in my group, they're not working in theirs hard enough. So I definitely, it's touchy and some people take it personally and some don't. And I try to like phase it out and try to have that conversation. But I definitely think stylists should only have their customers in there. So our customers shop with several people. I don't want them to feel uncomfortable if they bought from so-and-so and they're buying from me too. And some people do. Some people feel like that our community is small and we have customers that support all kinds of stylists across the board. Like they'll buy from 6 different people. I have one lady, I'm like, why aren't you doing this? I see you posting your nail fees in every group on my downline. And she's like, oh, I buy from too many of you. And I'm just like, stop. Like, just buy from someone or sign up from someone and get the discount, because my God. So it's just a touchy subject, but I try not to have stylists in my group. I prefer not to, because I want customers to feel like that's their place.
Awesome. And then can you say again what you say when you get a no and how you set up a personal link?
Yeah, every no to me is a challenge. So to me, I'm just like, okay, no problem. If you don't want the pressure of a party, I get it. We're all busy. But if you would like your own link and earn rewards off your own purchases, we can set that link up for you right now. And then that way that if they share it and that after they do that, they say, okay, I say, well, if you share it with anybody, just know that I'm going to spoil them a little too. And then it earns them more rewards. So it's a win-win for them, honestly. There's no work required.
That's awesome. All right. I think that was everything. Oh, how do you stay up on responding to 1,400 people?
Oh, don't do that ABC game when you have 1,400 people in it. That is a time, that's a lot. But I just rotate. You get ghosted by people. It is what it is. Some people, I ghost people all the time and don't even realize it because my dogs can step on my phone and it'll check a message and then I'm like, oh, I never saw that one. Things like that. So I get that sometimes you're not getting ghosted. Sometimes people really don't see it. Sometimes people don't want to respond then, and then they will 3 months later. So don't take it personally. People are busy. And it's just, I feel like if you go for no, that book is amazing. Go Pro, that book is amazing. If you read that Go Pro over anything else, that mindset is exactly where you need to be. It is, if you're gonna do something and you wanna do it well, you just have to put the hours in. And if you put the hours in, you're gonna get that back. It's gonna pay off. And just little messages throughout your day. It doesn't have to be, sit down for 3 hours and message people, 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there. That's how you work it. It's just when you can. I think that was it.
Great. Thank you so much, Janice.
Yep.
Awesome information. I think everyone's ready to go in their VIP groups tonight and start scheduling stuff. Perfect. All right, Deb Meeks, your hair is all curled. You're ready to talk to us too. So Deb is going to talk to us before we hang up on another way to get your calendars filled for all these different promotions. And she's going to talk about events now that we are again out in public again.
All right. Hi, guys. I promise I'll be quick. There are tons of things that you guys can search everywhere. I know everybody's kind of said that for the things that they've talked about. So I'm not really going to talk about how to set up your polish and what your table should be like, because every time I go, literally my table is completely different. But there's a couple of key things that I want to tell you, no matter what kind of an event you can do. So whether it's a street fair or right now I'm doing a farmer's market Fridays. I've done like fundraising events at churches or for different organizations. So there's lots of different places you can do. I've done Big B Coffee where I just set up a small table. Lots of different places you can do, but this is another place where you can grow your business because you're meeting people that you don't know, that you've never met before. So there's a couple of key things that I'm going to show you, and I've changed it up a little bit. Darlene Lavoie actually did a whole Color Street stylist teams down in Orlando did one on vending events. So she's got tons of stuff that she can help with if you ever have questions. I'm sure if you haven't watched her training and you paid for virtual training or you were in Orlando, make sure you watch it. She's got lots of things. There's a couple of things that I tweaked from what I did before. You need to give the people that you meet your information, and you need to get their information. Okay, we've all handed out samples to a waitress or to somebody, be like, you've got to try this. And then you walk away, you didn't put the sample on them, you didn't get their information, you're not going to check on it. If they maybe bother to put the sample on themselves, after you walk away, they're going to say to their friend, oh my gosh, look at this polish, isn't it amazing? And their friend's going to say, oh my gosh, that's Color Street. I've heard of that. My best friend sells it. You should get some from her. And you just totally lost that sale because you didn't check in on that person, right? Okay. Or it goes to the bottom of their purse and later on they're cleaning out their purse and they throw it away, right? Because they don't know what it is. They don't know where it came from. It's all smushed and they throw it. So you got to get that information from people. So the first thing I'm going to tell you, no matter where you're at, is stand next to or in front of your table. Do not sit on your phone in a chair behind your table. Even if you're just sitting there and they're just walking by, you have to approach the people that walk by your table. And you have to greet them because there will be people that will walk. And I'm kind of one of those people. I kind of look and I'm like, because they know that you want to sell them something. They know that you have something to offer to them. You have to pull them in. And I am a person you have to pull in. If you talk to me, I will come in and I will talk to you all day long. So you have to say to them, and it can be something as simple as like, hey, how are you guys tonight? Hope you're enjoying your day. You could just start out like that. You kind of know when somebody walks by if they're going to talk to you or not. But a lot of times I'll say, hi, how are you? And they'll say, good. And I'll say, have you heard of Color Street before? That's usually what I do. Or have you tried Color Street before? Or oh, I love the color of your nails. Or I see you know Color Street. I love that you have on, you know, whatever it may be, Tokyo Lights. Oh, you know, our #1 seller. And then you have the people that come and they walk up right to your table and I just say, ooh, you know what Color Street is. And I know you're looking for something. What can I get for you? How can I help you? And don't be afraid to say to them, like, I love to say, who's your stylist? Do you have a stylist? Because you can't assume just because that they are wearing it or they know what it is, that they actually have somebody that they're connected with, right? So I always say, like, who's your stylist? I might know them. I've been around a while. You know, I kind of, you know, the whole personability that we're talking about, we're all talking about creating relationships and talking with people. And I mean, you're creating that one-on-one when you're at those kind of events. So just, you know, bringing that person in and talking with them, asking them how they like Color Street. Are you having any problems with it? Or is there anything I can help you with? I had a lady literally on Friday that said, I've got 4 packs sitting in my cupboard at home and I don't even know what to do with them. And I said, well, come here. And she goes, I don't want to buy any more. I don't even use the ones I have. And I said, do you know how to use it? And she's like, yeah, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm like, come here. I want you to use it because if you otherwise just sitting there, you're gonna throw it away eventually when you don't know what to do with it. You know, because it's so easy, but it's such an odd concept. It was odd for all of us. We were all blown away the first time somebody put it on your nails and you're like, oh my gosh, this is really this easy. There's no way. It's really this easy, right? So there's a couple of things I want to talk to you real quick because I said I would be really quick. You want to give them your information. So no matter what you give them, whether it is opportunity brochures, which you should have on your table, but your information, I have my name. I'm not afraid to put my phone number on there. I don't put my email anymore because nobody's ever emailed me in all of these years. So I got my email off and I put my cell phone on there. I've never had problems with people having my cell phone number. I put my Instagram, my Facebook group, and I put my order link on there. And I just put them on address. I know you can get really fancy, more expensive stickers. I just print them at home on an address label and I stick them on here. Okay. On your catalogs, have catalogs available. Okay. I prefer, you can also have business cards. Some people will take a business card. I like to actually give them a catalog because a business card, again, is going to fall right to the bottom of their purse and they're going to find it when they're cleaning stuff out. And chances are they're just going to throw it away. If your purse looks like mine, there's lots of stuff every couple of weeks that gets thrown away from your purse, right? So make sure you have your information on there. Okay. A couple other things that I've done, and I've kind of changed this up a little bit. I really didn't try to get people as much into my VIP group. I gave them my information, but I didn't actively engage them in that. So I made some little frames and I put a QR code because everybody right now, you guys, you go any restaurant you go to, they're telling you to scan the QR code. So a lot of times at vending events or at farmers markets, I was running into an older generation that didn't know how to use these. And I feel like no matter, you know, it wasn't high school kids were the ones and younger that really knew how to use these pre-pandemic. And now I feel like no matter what age bracket, people know how to use this. Okay. So, and I'll be honest, I didn't know what I was doing when I first started. I didn't know what the heck this thing was for. I kept seeing it everywhere, but I didn't know what it was for a couple of years ago. You can go to Google QR code generator. It's called a Q, like the letter Q, the letter R, QR code generator. You just Google it. There's free ones. You literally put in your website for ordering, put in your link for your Facebook group, and it will create a QR code. And I literally you can do it right on your phone, screenshot it, put it into your photos, and then put that photo right in your notes, right? Okay. So I did that for my Facebook group. I did that, oops, dropping stuff. Sorry, my desk is a mess. I did that for my Instagram, and I also did it for my PayPal and my Venmo. I used to use Square. I haven't shared my Square. I don't have free Square anymore, but most people nowadays have touchless with Venmo and with PayPal. And so you can print off, I won't go through all those steps, but you can print off what your code is for Venmo and what your code is for PayPal. So I just have this available for when people are ordering. So super quick, super easy. I even made, so this is how I was mostly getting people's names before. I would have, now I don't know what I did with it. Luckily I have my little suitcase over here. I have a raffle. I always say I'm having a raffle. And I put on here, and I didn't put it on here. I printed this from somewhere. You can probably search these anywhere, but it's basically like, yes, I'd like to get information on joining. I'd like to host a free nail bar and earn free strips. I'd like to join your VIP group. And then it's their name, address, and phone number. And then I have a little jar that they can put these in. And then I add these contacts to my back office, right? So what I've done recently, because I didn't know how people would be. I didn't know if people would want me touching them. I didn't like to put a sample on them. And I didn't even know if I would feel comfortable touching people to put a sample on them, even though we're outside and outdoors. So I did a scan code for enter to win. So they could actually scan it and they could put their own name into my raffle. I also did a scan code, a how-to scan code to show them how, I don't have that one out of my suitcase, but I did my own personal, if you have not yet created a video link for yourself, that is yourself showing people how to put the polish on, you really need to do that, okay? And even if it's something, I still use mine from when I first started because now I know too much. And I can't shut up about, you should also do this, or you could do this. Like, it's so basic and I'm almost embarrassed. I can't even watch it myself, but I know it starts out with polish on every nail and I show them how to take polish off first. And then I show them how to put polish on. It's like, those are the two things that they need to know, right? And it's super basic. It's not over the top, and it's on Costa Rica Escape, which is my favorite ever. So I kind of am like in love with that one. So those are just some things when you're thinking about vending events to be able to get people's information back and forth. So I had a lady that joined my VIP group on Friday. I had a couple of people that joined, but one of them didn't purchase from me. And then that night I was watching the Olympics, kind of going through everything that I had and organizing everything back in my bag a little bit better. And I was sitting there watching, just kind of relaxing from the night. And I had an email pop up and it was that lady that had joined my VIP group. So when I come back from my event that night, I made sure that I put something in there that would capture attention and would pull my VIP group into her feed, hopefully, because she was new and it was pulled in. You know what I mean? It was like pulling her in. I also messaged her before I actually accepted her into the group, because I have who invited you to the group? Have you tried Color Street before? Do you need a sample? Like those kind of questions. And before I added her, I actually clicked on her name and I messaged her and said, it was so nice meeting you. I hope you had a great time at the farmer's market. Let me know if you have any questions. Welcome to my VIP group. I'm so glad that you're one of my newest VIPs. And so I messaged her because I knew if I accepted it, then I'd have to be like, I didn't even know her name. You know what I mean? So kind of think about those things too. And then after she ordered, I do this all the time with new customers, people in parties, when they order, I sent her a thank you note. So I took those little cards, these little guys that you can, you can get the ones from corporate. So the ones that come from corporate, if they're in stock, I'm not sure if they're in stock, they look like this. I just put that same thing down here and I don't buy thank you notes. I just write right in here. I stick it in an envelope and I send it. I just say, thank you so much for your order. I hope this will go with whatever your, to like matches an accent or something like that. So those are just a couple of things. Corporate has a lot of stuff for the vending events, like these small, which are nice. They're in these little bags. These are like you guys seen these yet? So these are pretty cool. And you could use these at your at-home parties if you decide to bring some stock. You can already have them on these and then just kind of set them up. So this one looks like this. This is the small one, which is nice. The big one is kind of hard at vending events because unless you have something to lean it against, it's kind of like a triangle. I don't know, it sits a little bit differently. But another little side note I would tell you is this is probably one of the best things. Have you guys ever seen these? These are bed risers. Okay, so there's 4 of these and I put them under the feet of the table that I'm using at my vending event, and it brings up the table to be at a higher height because you're doing somebody's nails, right? So you're not sitting, you shouldn't be sitting, right? You should be in front of your table or beside your table, pulling people into your tent. Okay. I also don't put my table all the way at the back of my tent. I put it like in the middle because I don't want them to feel weird coming into my tent, and all my crap is in the back of the table, like behind the tablecloth. I don't want them to see, right? So this will help bring the height of your table up. So it's higher for people to be able to actually put their own polish on. So just a couple of things. Also, don't sit out all of your samples because somebody will inevitably come by and take a bunch. Only stick out a couple. I have a really cool, my sister made these a long time ago. It's just like it's a board that she painted and she put a little slit in the top. You guys see that? She's really super talented. She's actually Color Street stylist too. And then she had these vinyl things and put them on. This is what I put my samples in. So I put like 5 across and I put a little alcohol swab with each one. And those are the only samples I sit out. And once I use one, I tuck it back in. Okay. No, she doesn't sell these. I can't tell you where to get them, but you could probably ask somebody that is remotely good with tools to make you something like this and then buy these like on Etsy or something. I don't have any connections for this. I apologize. But it doesn't have to be something like this. It could also be something as simple as, I meant to grab them. You know those giant clothespins that are different colors from like the dollar store you could get? You could put 5 different colored little clothespins sitting out that are holding those twosies that are capturing people's, do you guys know what I'm talking about? Like teachers have them in their classroom with little notes next to their computer. I have like 4 of those. And I was kind of thinking tonight, like, okay, they're going to ask me where I got this and how to get it. And I can't tell you that. So, but those little clothespins would be cute. And it'd be a cute little accessory to have on your table that might catch people's eyes too. So just a couple of things to kind of, think about. I'm not going to talk about pricing and all of that because really tonight was about trying to get those parties, and when somebody's buying one, telling them, oh, buy 3, get 1 free, all of those same kind of things that you talk with other people like, well, if you really like it, have you ever contemplated having a party, offering that party and offering the opportunity, like you love it, how much you enjoy it, how beneficial it has been to you, the fast, fun, easy, kind of like Dina was talking about before, like those are the things that are going to really catch people's attention. So I hope that helped. I'm not a very organized person. So I hope I hit everything that was, did have a couple of notes for myself.
I think it was perfect, Deb. Will you take pictures like of your card, how people can pay, like with your Venmo code and stuff? When I post the replay, will you take pictures of that and like your your lead slip? I know Dar said there's one in the app or the virtual office, but post the stuff used too in the comments after I post the link.
Yes, I will definitely do that. You know what? Can I tell you guys about one more thing?
Yeah.
This blew my mind. This was actually a customer that came and ordered. She sells Mary Jane or Matilda Jane. And she said, she goes, take your phone out. And I was like, okay. Like I thought, oh, she's going to try and sell me something. She goes, she had a pop socket like this. And she goes, I just got one of these at conference. And she said, hold your phone up and tap your phone to my pop socket. So I took my phone and tapped it to her pop socket. And her virtual business card came up.
Oh,
so inside
nice.
of her pop socket is something called Popl. Some of you probably know about this. It's POPL. She goes, her leader for Matilda Jane got it for the girls that went to live conference. It's POPL. And the first O kind of looks like a little fireworks kind of. And I was like blown away. And on there was like, host a party, order from my stack, order online. Like it was kind of like those link trees and stuff that you see, or people have their Instagram profile. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I went to Target. I live near Woodhaven. I went to Target at Woodhaven. They don't have them in stock, but you can order them online. So I don't know that you can actually get them in person. And I couldn't find the pop socket, which is what I would prefer to have because I don't really carry my keys around with me, but I always have my phone. And so I think you might just have to do Target. Amazon, I could not find the pop socket online, but it's $20 and you just put your information somehow onto it. But I thought that was the coolest thing because imagine being at your event and just being like, let me see your phone and then say, click join my VIP group, click pay me Venmo, click pay PayPal, like, or just whatever it may be. So those kind of things, those quick, easy things with people with their phones, QR codes, even at parties, having a QR code for your link or for the hostess link or a how-to video if people aren't comfortable especially with this new variant coming out in the South, people might be comfortable coming over, but they all might be masked and may not want you touching them. So the fact that they could scan a how-to video and show themselves on their phone what to do might be a good option too. So it's just that technology piece that allows you to still kind of be personal without having to be person. And some people just don't want you touching them in the first place. So you just never know.
Great
I'll shut up.
advice, Deb. I love it. And one thing too, I know that she mentioned all the different places of doing events, and we are coming up to event season. So if you're ever questioning it, look in the PNP, because what will inevitably start coming up as we get closer to the holidays are all those ones that are in the malls. And I know we had problems with that a few years ago, that the ones that the malls offer over and over and over again. Some of our people got kicked out of those because you're not supposed to do them and they had paid money. So Dar, maybe you can add in real quick, is it for all those holiday ones, is it it can't be repeated more than, is it 8 times in a calendar year? What is it again?
Well, it really depends, because if it's in a mall, it's really questionable as far as whether it's a pop-up or whether it's a vending event. So a vending event can't be more than 8 times in a calendar year at the same location with the same person who's doing the event. However, in a mall, it's considered more of a retail space. So if you're doing a I'm not sure about the vending events, but if you're doing a pop-up in like a retail location, whether it be like she was saying a Dunkin' Donuts or something like that, it cannot be more than 8 one-day events in any one location, regardless of who the stylist is. So the owner of that business would have to know, like, who would have to know that they can't have more than 8 times with a Color Street stylist in their shop. So if you're partnering with you know,
Stores. Yeah, it was
stores or
in Laurel Park.
brewery or a winery or doing a sip and shop or going to the Starbucks or, you know, that kind of thing. It's just trying to level the playing field is what they're trying to do. We kind of had a little bit of a scare when going into conference with that. They were going to tell us that pop-ups were not compliant. So we had to hold on to that for a couple of weeks before they come back and said, yes, you can train on this.
Yeah. So definitely, again, we're coming up to that season when you're going to see a lot more of them. So just, if you're ever wondering, reach out to your upline, look at the policies and procedures. If you're unsure, you know, check with us, message corporate, and just to confirm. So it doesn't, I would hate for you to pay and then not be able to do it.
Can I just say something just real quick?
Yeah.
Be really careful of scammers and make sure that you know what you're doing. Because I've been to events before and literally not a single person comes in, and I might sell to another vendor that happens to be there. There are a lot of online scams where people will be saying they're going to be doing these online events, mega party kind of things. And you're so excited and so sometimes desperate maybe to get some kind of an event on your calendar that you pay for these. And then like all of these vendors might be in this group, but then there's nobody in there actually shopping. So make sure you kind of vet and know what's going on. You'll see occasionally notes from all of us, like this person is doing fake events. It was happening prior to the pandemic. Really, I haven't really seen it as much lately because of the pandemic, but just be careful because it was happening for online events over the pandemic, but it was happening for real in-person events.
Yes.
People would show up and there was not even anybody there coordinating anything. And then you're out. Maybe you're like, oh, it's only $35, but there could be 100 people out. That person just made $3,500 on that event and everybody's out. So just be careful of your scams. Most of my events have been ones that somebody has came to me and said, my church is doing this, or my organization is doing this. And those really are the best, because when you have somebody who's invested, a booster club where people are going to buy regardless, because they want to support that cause. It's not really about, you know, they want to buy from you, but they want to support whatever that cause is. And then you kind of have that connection for people already, and you kind of know what you're going into. So just a little food for thought.
Absolutely, Deb. I think there's a lot of that going on beforehand. One other thing I wanted to mention was to make sure when you're inquiring about a vendor event that you are clearly representing yourself as a Color Street stylist, and that you ask if anything else, even nail related, it has signed up, because some people will sign up as, Debbie's nails or, polished it up or something like that. And we are not allowed to go to another event with another Color Street stylist, and you wouldn't want to anyway. It puts people in an awkward position, and neither one of you will do very well as far as the entire event goes, but.
Can I ask a
But
question?
some events allow, that's the problem too. Like we have one near us.
Some events will allow it.
Some events allow multiple people will allow 2 Color Street people. So that's a tough one too. Yeah, go ahead, Kelly.
Okay, so at my work, I work for Delta Airlines, and we actually do like a fundraiser for like breast cancer. It's not until October, but can you do stuff like that too? Like they make baskets and do raffles. Okay.
As long as like with the baskets, you can't have, more Color Street.
It has to be at least 50%
items.
Color Street.
Yeah, non-Color Street.
Okay. Okay.
Right? Did I say that right? Right? Did I say that right? You can't.
I was just looking at something else. It can't be more than 50% Color Street. It has to be at least 50% Color Street.
Right. So you can't have
it
all
has to
these extra things with one set of nails. Another.
Okay.
I'm super tired. Sorry.
All right. Sounds good, because I like to do that, and they make this big basket. And
Yeah.
You just can't do discounts or anything in public for the fundraiser.
Oh, okay, no problem.
making
Thanks,
sure that
raffle
you-
off ticket.
Like,
Only a regular. You can do the buy 3, get 1, just not additional.
right,
Okay.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Like not $10
Well,
a set or anything like that.
I'm just starting out right now, so that's all I have is the buy 3 get one, or buy 3
Perfect.
get 1. So,
Perfect. Well, you guys have been good listeners tonight, but all of it was so good. I mean, most people stayed on this whole time because all of you guys gave such amazing tips of every way you can possibly, all of the main ways of earning an income and being able to earn all of these incentives that Color Street has to offer. So great tips from all of you. So thanks, Deb. Thanks, Dina. Thanks, Janice. Thanks, Christy. We so appreciate everything you guys shared. You probably won't see this link till tomorrow because it's going to take a while to download into YouTube. So I'll get it up tomorrow, and then anything else you guys want to share in the comments, feel free. So thanks again, everybody. Amazing training. We are all pumped up and ready to go now for August. I don't know about everybody else, but I am ready now. So something I needed to hear all that great stuff. So thanks, everybody.
thank you.
And
Have a good night.
have a
Thank
great night,
you.
everybody. Happy August.
You too. Thanks.
All right. See you.